my New Year's resolution for 2026, I'm going to finish my sock, and we'll check in on that in a year.
We're going to check in on the sock in January 2027.
Yeah. And if I also, 2027, Jesus.
That's what they're saying.
If I also manage to journal, read physical books, and eat fiber for my cholesterol, great. But if not, we're not holding me to it.
At least you'll have one sock.
At least I'll have one finished sock. First opener of the year.
It goes like this. Horsey got those bell-bottom legs. Hooves with the fur.
The whole stable looking at her.
She hit the trail.
Yep.
Next thing you nail. Shorty got low. You don't need to change that part. That part's still good.
I don't think it's good if your horse gets low.
No, I think it's probably bad.
Yeah, I think you have to shoot it if it gets low.
Let us know in the comments. Anyways, hello. Welcome to Text Me Back Podcast, the only podcast hosted by two dead women. We are both not alive. Right?
We're not well.
And I know we say that a lot. I know we say, oh, we're unwell. And it's like a satire. No, something has gone wrong in the immune systems of your beloved Text Me Back podcast hosts. I, of course, am Megan Hatcher-Mays.
And I'm Lindy West.
She, of course, is Lindy West. We're going to get into it. Listen, first of all, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We did it.
It's been a really rough one, both personally and globally, because I guess we overthrew the Venezuelan government.
No, Megan, we're going to run it.
So we're just going to run it. Just for like a hot minute.
We're going to run
and
Venezuela.
And we'll probably just replace Maduro with, I don't know, Dr. Oz or something. It doesn't really matter. It just pick anybody. It could be anyone.
I just feel like Trump would want them to have like sort of a Hispanic last name.
He's currently trying to think of the most famous Hispanic person he knows, and he's going to ask that person if they want to run
Mario Lopez. Yeah,
Venezuela.
And also, I feel like if he picked Mario Lopez, he'd really be sticking it to Ted Cruz, which you know he likes.
Yeah. So in your face.
Hey, really quick, I'd like to say I'm sorry about a minute ago when I said that if your horse gets low, you have to shoot it in the head.
I don't think you said in the head, did you? Oh God.
I want you to shoot it in the leg?
I don't think they shoot them at all. I think they humanely,
Well, I was just referring to, I feel like in the movies, anytime anything goes wrong with a horse,
I know they're fragile.
They're like, well, time to shoot it, which I don't agree with it.
People are always saying, oh, I'm a horse girl. I've always wanted a horse. I love horses. Really? Because you look at a horse sideways and that thing has to march on up to heaven. That's a lot of emotional burden for an animal. I don't know, man. They're stressful to me personally. Also, I'm allergic to horses and I don't really like their vibe. Although, and then we'll start the show. I've been getting served these TikToks. Spent the last 5 days in my bed. So, and my screen time next week is going to be, my phone is not going to be happy with me at all. Anyways, I've been getting served these videos from a woman in England who I think is training this horse to do something. I don't know what, but she's trying to desensitize the horse to like neighborhood sounds or whatever. This horse is terrified of everything. His name's Max. Now I'm like, oh, I see why people like horses. This thing's an idiot, dude. It's so funny. They're not noble beasts at all. They're
No.
dumb as hell. And like comedians, Max is afraid of the following: garbage bins, street grate, Christmas lights, human man, human woman, dog, which makes sense, wind rustling in tree. That's a non-exhaustive list. And I was like, no, this is a funny ass horse. So shout out to him. Hope he's doing well wherever he is.
I hope he doesn't need to
He doesn't
be
have
shot.
the bell-bottom jeans though.
No, but just a retroactive trigger warning. I don't think we should shoot any horse.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. All right. Well, so look, Happy New Year. And hello to Venezuela.
Oh, hola, lo siento.
And boy, lo siento. I mean, not that, like, of course, no, Text Me Back podcast is not defending Maduro. Okay. However, Text Me Back podcast does endorse congressional authorization for military force, and Text Me Back podcast condemns Central American regime change. Hello? Question mark.
Buenos dias? Question mark. Upside down question mark. Buenos dias. Right side up question mark.
Ay Dios mío, que pasó? Because I don't like this. No me gusta at all, Brody. Not at all. Anyways,
that said, Megan and I are sick.
I'm so ill.
So what happened was we were really excited to come record this podcast for you. We've taken a month off, and it was a lovely month. We rested. But I missed Megan.
Sure.
I missed the attention of the fans. I missed the accolades. And I was frankly bored. And so I was very excited to get back to podcasting. You know what?
And I'm a famous hater of this podcast, but I was looking forward to it too, because actually, like, you and I personally, I like for real haven't like been able to catch up that much because the holidays were really busy. I actually traveled to Wisconsin, which I never do. I don't travel for Christmas at all. I like, as I think everyone knows, I love to roll myself up in a burrito and like set up an eggnog IV and watched Elf and Scrooged and the Muppet Christmas Carol, a perfect film. And I did not do that this year. I went to Wisconsin. And so I was like, this will be great because I can actually catch up with Lindy, because we actually like haven't talked. And now we're both like, let's wrap this up. I want to die.
Okay, because so something happened to Megan on New Year's. You ate a poisoned...
What happened to me can only be described as cholera. Okay, like what happened to me for sure would have killed me in the 17th century.
Yeah, Megan would not have survived the Oregon Trail.
No, this is what took ass out on the Oregon Trail.
This is what Cheeto.
This was Cheeto's downfall right before we got to the Willamette. That's what happened to me. I don't know what it was. I have a few suspects, okay? But like what I do know is that nobody I was with on New Year's Eve had this happen to them. So that points in the direction of food poisoning, right?
Right.
Like something I ate before I went to this New Year's Eve party. However, my symptoms now are like pretty standard head cold stuff, which my husband does have because we spent the holidays with various vectors of disease. And one of them gave us something. So I was like, so I just got the dysentery version of a head cold. Like, what is that?
Or you got a cold and then you got bonus dysentery.
And then on top of that, I got food poisoning. So I have a couple suspects if it was food poisoning. One was, I try to eat something with protein in it for breakfast, but some days cereal just sounds so good. So I had a bowl of cereal and I had some oat milk, which in my mind, I don't perceive as ever going bad.
Sure.
But I poured it on my cereal and I didn't notice until I had a couple bites, but it was like, there were some thick parts of it, but it didn't smell or taste bad. But once I realized the consistency was strange, I stopped eating it. And I was like, okay, well, that was rough. Now, my second culprit, and I really don't want to blame this person because I just feel like it's hack, honestly. I bought sushi from Whole Foods for lunch that day. But like, it can't be sushi from Whole Foods. It can't be store-bought sushi. That's been done.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's...
You don't want your food poisoning to be hack.
You want it to be something original.
On top of everything else. You don't need people to be like, seen it. Next.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Is there a third culprit?
The third culprit is either Baby New Year or the old man who was leaving. Right. One of those two guys.
Took a dump right in your champagne.
He infected me with a bioweapon. So basically what happens was New Year's Eve day, I felt fine. I went to a party, saw my friends, ate a lot of food, drank a lot of Prosecco. It was my friend Zach. He hosts every year. His actual birthday is on New Year's Day. So he makes a cake for himself every year. And then at midnight, we sing happy birthday to him and eat the cake. And the cake was so good. And so the next morning I was like, ugh, like I just ate too much stuff or I drank too much Prosecco. And this is just, the result of a bad Prosecco decision. But as you said in the text, I don't believe Prosecco has the power to give you muscle aches and like a 3-day
malaise
situation. You know what I mean? I don't want to get into it. But I am just saying that a Revolutionary War soldier would not have survived what I went through the last 4 days of my life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
I sweated through like 3 or 4 pairs of pajamas, multiple blankets.
Damn.
My watch was sending me health warnings. Like in the morning, my watch would be like, my watch will send me like my sleep score. It'll be like, hey, great job. You went to bed early and you stayed asleep. Good for you. And I'm like, thanks. And this time my watch was like, oh God, are you good? Your wrist was too hot and you didn't sleep at all, sister. And I was like, my wrist was too hot? What symptom is that? So it wasn't COVID. The COVID test was negative.
Yeah. Well,
girl, I don't know, but
did you have a fever?
I could not find my thermometer, so I don't know. But I had the heats and the chills, whatever that is. Today is Sunday, January 4th, 2026, and today was my first shower of 2026. So that was pretty sweet, pretty special.
Well, good for you. But then yesterday you started to feel better?
I did. Last night I had my first real food. I'd been kind of subsisting on saltines and ginger ale. And then somewhere in there, my body decided it didn't want that either. So I threw up and I was like, cool. Great. Can't even do ginger ale. The food they say you're supposed to have. I think I came out of the woods sometime on Saturday night and I ate my first food. It was a frozen pizza. And let me tell you, nothing has ever tasted better to me in my life than this frozen pizza. 2 Michelin star pizza, James Beard Award winner. It was so good. It tasted amazing. I ate so much of it. And then this morning I woke up with just an absolute craving for Kraft macaroni and cheese. So sorry to say this, but I DoorDashed 4 boxes of Kraft macaroni and cheese to my house and I ate some and I was like, hell yeah, dude. Like this is just,
there's nothing what you wanted.
Yeah, nothing has ever tasted better in my life. It was so, so good. So I'm on the mend, but now I just have a regular cold for which I have to take Dayquil, I guess, for the next like 3 or 4 days.
I'm so sorry, dude.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I miss from drinking, being a drunk, being a party boy, it's that feeling of I have a hangover and then my hangover is done.
Yes.
And now I get to eat.
Yes. You would always say, oh, first Sprite. Like that first Sprite that you would have after your, it's such a beauty.
Oh, the hangover Sprite.
Yeah.
The hangover Sprite. Good. You have the hangover Sprite when you're still in the thick of it. And then a couple hours later, you can go to Teapot Vegetarian on 15th.
Fucking you freaking Teapot. Oh, I forgot about her.
Because I lived on 15th, I would go get these like fried tofu bricks that were like crispy. They were like sweet and sour tofu bricks. And I would go eat that when I had a hangover. Ooh, boy. Anyway.
You lived on 15th? I used to live on 15th. Did we live on 15th at the same time?
Sadly, no. I think I lived there after you left me and went to St. Louis. I lived for like a year, maybe 2 years, on like by the Canterbury. So other end.
Right.
Other end of the biz dist.
I lived by the Safeway.
Yes.
On 15th. Fascinating lore for the listeners, I'm sure. But anyways, as a result of my near-death experience, we had to put off recording for 4 days. We were supposed to record on Thursday. And then I texted you like, does this time work? And you were like, guess what happened?
Guess who's sick now?
You'll never guess which of the two of us is sick now.
Oh, yeah. So yesterday I wake up, and day before yesterday I'd been sneezing all day. And I was like, boy, howdy, these allergies.
Yeah.
Because sneezing is like the funny man's symptom, you know?
Yeah, that's not like a real symptom. That's like, it's like sneezing is like a prank, you know?
Sneezing is like a prank. It's like a cartoon symptom. So I was sneezing and I was like, haha, I'm not taking this seriously. I wake up yesterday morning just wrecked. Like our mutual friend Hesty was visiting. And Hesty and I had a Lifetime movie that we had to finish.
Had to. Yeah, absolutely.
We started it Friday night. We only got halfway through when we started to fall asleep. So we had to finish My Husband's Deadly Affair and find out what happened. So
I wonder what does end up happening.
So
hard to say for sure.
I mean, I can tell you if you want, but you should really go experience it for yourself. So yeah, then yesterday I'd set my alarm. I wake up to finish My Husband's Deadly Affair at like 8:30. And I just am like, oh, I can't. I'm dead. Chitu got my ass.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I shouldn't blame Chitu. Chitu is a victim.
She was also taken out by her dim-witted attempts to practice medicine on the Oregon Trail. It's okay.
I feel like that's one of my favorite segments that we ever did. It was like so early. It was like one of our first episodes, and Megan was playing Oregon Trail and just does this monologue about it that is so funny. Anyway, so I wake up, I'm just like knocked out with this cold. Like right now you're seeing me, I'm on Dayquil.
Yeah.
This is my Dayquil.
Same.
And like I'm barely alive. But I'm like, well, it's just a little cold, like whatever. People do not die of petty trifling colds. So I get up, Hesty and I finish the movie. I'm wearing a mask so that I don't infect my household. Then I drive Hesty to the ferry. I stop and buy a COVID test. I take the test. It's negative. It doesn't feel like COVID. It truly feels like cold classic, you know, like, oh, I remember this from, you know, childhood
before. Yeah.
I want chicken noodle soup and I want to lie down. I get home around like 1:30 or 2. I lie down in bed. I close my eyes. My eyes open. It's like 7:45. So I just slept like 5 hours in the middle of the day. Am I still tired? Yes.
Yes. Very much so.
But now I'm ravenous. So I get up, I move to the couch, the home theater, the new festering room. And Aha Mayflay brings me some top ramen, which by the way,
yum.
By the way, life hack, he added MSG because they took the MSG out of the top ramen.
Why would you do that to the king of flavors?
Dude, to pander to white people who are
Gwyneth
racist?
Paltrow?
So
a pass.
Fuck yourself. So added some MSG. Roya brought me tea.
I didn't know you could just buy MSG.
Oh, you sure
like
can,
on the
Megan.
side like that. Oh my
sure
God.
Can.
Oh, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, and we just have it in a little like a little salt cellar thing, just like next to the salt. Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
Dude. So then I sit and I watched the first 4 episodes of a Hulu original called Paradise, a sci-fi thriller.
Oh, is Sterling K. Brown in that?
He sure is, Megan.
Okay.
And let me tell you something about Sterling K. Brown. There's this scene where Sterling K. Brown is taking a shower.
Hello?
Oh, I felt like the TV he punched me in the face. I was like, that's what was under there? Because
you were like, oh my God, now I'm my husband's deadly affair with Sterling K. Brown?
I just like, because Sterling K. Brown, he's not like 25. He's not like any of the show.
I feel like he's like our age.
Yeah, he's like our age, maybe 42. Anyway, I don't know. This man is doing something under his clothes that I've never seen before.
I've had a gander at it myself, and I was like, oh,
sir?
Well, yes.
Then I did that. Until it was sort of seemed like a bedtime, and then I went to bed around 10:30. Slept until
he's, by the way, 49 years old.
Nice,
and he keeps it tight. Okay, so shout out to him.
I don't know how the man has time to act.
I know.
Because he's got to be in the gym 24/7.
And eating like turkey meat and brown rice only because, baby, that's crazy.
I really I went,
you're like, I'm scared.
Because he plays like a Secret Serviceman. So he's just been in a suit this whole time.
You had no idea.
I assume normal man.
You assumed wrong. You made an ass of you.
That's right.
And of me, frankly. So.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's Mr. Olympus over here. Mr. Olympian man.
Olympia K. Brown. Anyways.
So I went to bed around 10:30. I slept solidly through until 11:30 when I had to get up to record podcast. And Megan, of course, very sweetly was like, oh, we can just cancel this week.
I was fully ready to make a 15-minute thing for all of you, being like, hey, girls, we're dead. See you next week. But no, we're muscling through. Yeah. Honestly, it's for me. Like, I knew I was going to get sweaty during this and clammy, and I know I'm going to feel bad after, but I really wanted to talk to you.
I know, me too.
It's okay.
It's been willy won't Megan?
I'm so sad. By the way, did we ever intro what's going to happen on today's show? I don't feel
this is the
this is it.
This is the pre-intro.
This is the preamble. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So on today's show.
Anyway, Lindy's still a little bit sick. I am no longer just liquefied from the inside out. I'm okay-ish. And so today, Lindy, what are we going to talk about?
Well, Megan, last week we gave you our we replayed last year's New Year's resolution episode. And so today we're going to check in on how we did on last year's resolutions, and
yes,
we're going to make some new resolutions.
We're going to do some new intenciones for our listeners in Venezuela. But first, we're going to catch up a little bit, even though I know what you're thinking. You've been talking for 26 minutes. Surely that was the catch up. No, it wasn't. What's wrong with you? God. I got out of bed for this.
That was the mustard.
This is the salami. Okay.
This is the ketchup.
No, I don't like that. I like the Dave Niehaus reference better.
Sorry.
How were your holidays, Lindy?
They were good. Let me think.
What little prezzies did you get?
Ooh, guess what? Mayfile got me a present for my office.
Oh, yes. This is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's called Mini Fridge.
Bang.
It's for me to have up here in my lair. So I don't ever have to go downstairs to get tiny Coke Zeros.
Guess what, Roya? Third festering room.
I haven't plugged it in yet or stocked it because I got sick.
That's going to be so fun to stock it with your little bevies.
I know. And I can put magnets on it and stickers.
I hadn't even considered that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. Aham says I have to put it somewhere away from my microphone so that it doesn't ruin the podcast, but I don't like that.
What does that mean?
I want to be able to just reach over
like the electric Electricity will cause some sort of interference?
No, just like the
Oh, the whirring of the fridge. Sure. Oh, girl.
It'll be like that. Who cares?
Yeah, that didn't ruin the podcast at all.
So yeah, I got that. I got, oh no, I don't have no brain. You go, and I'll think of some more stuff.
We sound amazing. What did I get? Well, so I'm kind of bad. Here's what I'm working on. Healing is like, I had this idea for a long time that I'm like, I'm too laissez-faire and low maintenance to care about receiving gifts, you know, and there are various reasons why I turned out this way.
Sure.
We won't talk about it right now. And then I realized like a year ago, I love gifts. I love little presents. Why would I say that? That's a dumb thing to say and believe and portray. But what I will say is this, is that sometimes if I get a present that is disappointing, that will ruin my day. And so there is some instances where I'm like, I would have preferred nothing than like a bad gift, you know? So anyways, so my husband and I were like gonna exchange gifts and then we didn't. We just didn't get each other anything. It just got kind of stressful to have to like travel, and I was like, if we buy each other presents, do we bring them like I don't know, to Wisconsin? We went to Wisconsin to visit his family, so we just never did it. And now I'm kind of sad. So now I'm like, we should have Christmas in like March or something, because I want a present. I will say what I got other people. So we went and I met Adam's niece for the very first time. So I got her a squishmallow, who was a piece of French toast. And she came with like a little card that explained her whole backstory and her lore. And I was like, what more could be said? She's a piece of French toast. Like, she's just a woman who's French toast. Like, what more could you possibly want? And she wore a little beret that looked like a blueberry. She was actually so cute. And I kind of wanted to get one for myself too, but I was like, that's weird. And I don't need to buy myself stuff. But her name is Joy, because she's French, Joie. And she's not, Lindy, she's not just a piece of French toast that wears a blueberry. Sorry. That wears a blueberry for a hat, a blue beret, if you will.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So she's like a gymnastics instructor who like used to be really good at gymnastics, and then she trained up like a bunch of future Olympians or something, and they all became gymnastics experts. And I was like, oh, a joie, good for you, masseur. That's in like French for my sister.
Oh, is that in like the breakfast Olympics or the human Olympics?
I'm gonna say human.
Let's say human.
Don't you think she was doing the frickin', what's a gymnastics move? I don't know. Double back frickin' handoff, round off.
That's right.
Into the splits like they always are doing.
Damn.
Anyway, so sorry, Simone Biles. There's a new game in town. And she's a pillow. That's French toast, and her name's Joy, and she's from France. Anyway, so that's what we got for Bernie.
I didn't realize that I wasn't prepared to do this segment due to the microbes in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
And I can only remember the mini fridge because it's in the room with me right now. Mm-hmm. So
out of sight, out of mind. It's the text me back guarantee, really.
I'm trying to rack my brain, and it's not feeling good. It doesn't feel good.
It's
racking.
physically painful to go through the files. Yeah.
I think what I'm going to do is put a pin in it.
And then we're going to go ahead and say mini fridge.
And then next week, I'll tell you about everything else. Oh, Roya got me a book called, You Don't Need a Budget.
Nice.
It's like financial advice for losers.
I love that. By the way, in a couple months, we already recorded this, but in a couple months, our friend Luke Burbank is going to post our episode of Livewire on the Livewire feed. But when we recorded it, it's very sweet. I don't want to give it away, but it's very sweet. But basically, it was like Lindy and I were trying to prove how well we know each other. And one of the questions was quite hateful because it was like, name Megan's pets. And Lindy's like, well, that's not fair. Megan's a famous animal hoarder, which is true. I am. I've had 39 pets. And by the way, we didn't have that many pets growing up. So all of these animals have come to me like from the age of 24 and up. So I've had like 37 dogs, and they're all, something's always wrong with them. You know what I mean? That's why I take them, because they're damaged.
That's why you go through them so fast.
That's why I go through them so fast. Anyway, so we had a dog who passed away a long time ago. Her name was Ozzy, but it was very sudden. Like, we just didn't know it was going to happen. And then after she died, Adam's sister, who is an artiste, drew this little drawing of Ozzy. And so there's this drawing of Ozzy on her ashes that we keep. It's very sweet. Then my dog, Hank, who was the last dog who lived in this house who cared about me, may he rest in power. I adopted him when I was 24, and I had him until I was 40, which is just like the craziest set of years to have an animal. And then the animal dies and you're like, what the fuck? But what do you mean? Like, we've been best friends since I was 24. Like, where are you going? So then Hannah, Adam's sister, drew a little picture of Hank. Then, as our listeners know, Brenda Entertainment Baby passed away a couple of years ago, which was both not a surprise, but it happened faster than we thought it was going to. Anyways, for Christmas, Adam's sister drew us a little picture of Brenda Entertainment Baby, which has now been placed next to Hank and Ozzy. And so they're all together with little matching, it's a little triptych of our little
wow, that's really
doggies.
cute.
So it was a really nice little present.
You know what I like about the Brenda, Ozzy, Hank triptych?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the three most important breeds in the pantheon. You know, you got your Pomeranian, you got your Chihuahua, you got your Papillon. You know,
she was also a French gymnast. Ozzy was. My holiday was a little bit stressful. Like I said, we don't usually travel, but we flew to Madison and we flew on one of those little regional planes, you know. As it turns out, it's not that much more expensive to just fly first class on those little regional flights. So we did. And that was my first time ever flying first class. Here's several things I'd like to say about flying first class. First of all, they give you the healthiest pour of wine you've ever seen in your life. And by the time I got off that plane, I was pretty drunk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you need that hangover Sprite.
Yeah, it was pretty lit. Here's another thing. The flight attendants, who we've already established on this show, are God's strongest warriors. Okay. They are so nice to you. They
love your ass.
They have never met a more perfect friend, sister. They never had. That woman in first class, that was my mother. You know what I mean? Like, it was crazy. She's like, do you want me to hang up your jacket? And I was like, what? Hang it up? I was just going to ball it up and throw it on the floor, but yeah. Do you want to use it to wipe your ass? Like, that's what you would do back in coach. I've seen it.
That's what I deserve.
That's what I absolutely deserve. You know, because I remember one time when we flew from Seattle, I couldn't find a spot for my luggage overhead. And so I went to the flight attendant and I said, I'm sorry, there doesn't seem to be space for my suitcase. And she goes, guess it sucks to be you then. And I said, and I looked at her and I went, yeah, I guess it does. And then we just stared at each other. And I was like, what the fuck was that? Like, damn, bitch. Like, I know that this is the worst job in the world because it's everything that sucks about retail, but in the sky.
Yeah.
But I don't know you. Like, who are you talking to now? Like, it's fucking crazy.
You guys are the ones with the rules. Like, don't let your bag be anywhere except for the designated area. So
literally, just a really quick rant about this. The reason why everybody brings their bag on the plane now, and why one of many reasons why the security lines are longer, TSA is more evil than ever before, is because more people bring their bags through security, which means TSA has to do more checks, which slows down the line, which pisses everybody off. So now everybody's on the plane pissed off with their bags. Why do they do that? You guessed it. Because the airlines charge $50 for you to check your bag. So everybody brings it to the gate. which is why everybody has to gate check now and why I can't find a spot above my seat for my suitcase. And now you say to me, sucks to be me. You're not wrong, but I don't need to hear it. I already know. Carol.
Also,
okay.
Carol, what do you want me to do with the bag, Carol?
You want me to throw it in your fucking face? And then maybe it'll suck to be you?
You know, Carol,
Ma'am?
I hate to tell you, the bag actually is your problem because you have to get this plane off the ground. So
regrettably, Carol, it sucks to be you because you got to figure out where this thing's going, sister. Anyways, back to the topic. Here we are in first class being treated like the kings and queens of the skies. It was crazy. And they were so nice. The wine was flowing. Everything that you think is true about first class really is, man. It was great. Like now I never want to go back there. I never want to go behind that rotted little curtain ever again.
Dude. But it's like it's like the shroud that Sirius Black falls through.
Beyond the veil.
The Department of Mysteries. Hashtag canceled.
Hashtag canceled. Hashtag fuck turfs. But a really good point nonetheless. Anyway, so and we were sitting like right in the very front. We were in like the front row of first class, right? So on the way back, we're flying back. And I didn't realize this, but there was some sort of devastating windstorm happening in Washington, D.C. So we're flying back from Madison and all is normal. We had to leave a little bit late, but it was not that big of a deal. And we picked up some time. So I was like, whatever, we'll get back and it'll be fine. And so we're about to descend into DC. They do all the announcements, whatever. And I'm like seeing all the monuments and the stuff. So I know we're flying into DC. We're flying right over the Anacostia River. And all of a sudden the plane pulls up and flies back into the air. And I say, hello? Hello? Carol? Carol? Good Carol? My best friend, my mother, the sister I never had? Mommy, what's going on? And I had noticed when we were flying in, like a Ferris wheel, which I had never seen. I was like, who around here has a Ferris wheel? I was like, surely I would have known if Washington, D.C. had installed a Ferris wheel. Then I realized it was National Harbor. I just had never seen that. But the Ferris wheel became my guiding star for what was happening. So because we go back up in the air and I was like, that's weird. He abandoned a landing. I don't think I've ever experienced that before. Then I realized we're circling around. So we circle around and we're up in the air still. And I'm like, what's going on? They're not saying anything about what's going on. And I was able to send like a message to the Slack group of my friends. And I was like, my pilot just abandoned a landing. And my friends are like, oh, is it because of the windstorm at DCA? And I was like, there's a windstorm at DCA? And they're like, yeah, winds of like 50 miles an hour. And I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like at this point, we'd been in Wisconsin for like 6 days. I was so tired. I just wanted to go home so bad. We already couldn't get the dogs like the next day. So then we're like loop back around and there's that fucking Ferris wheel again. I was like, okay, maybe we're going to try again.
Yeah.
So
it's happening.
So we descend. I'm like, okay, because the Ferris wheel is how I know we're about to descend because I saw it last time. So then we go to descend. And he doesn't go as low this time. And by the way, the first time we were so close to the river. Like I could see the reflection at night. I could see the reflection of the plane on the river. And I was like, you know what I don't like is any of that. No, thank you. And the turbulence, and you know what they say, no planes ever crash because of turbulence. That's what they say. So I try not to get stressed out by turbulence. And yet it is like being beaten by a giant's hand in the sky. Like it's, and this plane was like, go, 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 go. Like as it was like, he was trying to land us at DCA.
Oh my God.
And he abandons it again. So 2 abandoned landings and up and back into the air we go. And now everyone's like, what the fuck is going on? And they're not saying anything except every now and again, the flight attendant would get on the intercom to admonish one of the unwashed in coach and be like, sir, sit down, seatbelts on. And I was like, I would never. I'm well behaved and in first class. So, and so I was going to ask Adam, he was sitting in the aisle so he could see the flight attendants in the jump seats just to see get temp check.
Yeah.
What's their vibe? Like, do they seem freaked out? Do they seem stressed, or are they acting normal? And then at the last minute, I decided not to ask him, which was foreshadowing. I'm glad I didn't, and I'll tell you why in a second. So he pulls out of the second attempt and I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, what is fucking going on? And then I got really stressed that they were going to make us land at a different airport, like Dulles or Baltimore or something. But our car was parked at DCA.
No.
And I was like, please don't make me go to Baltimore. I don't want to do that. So we're like circling the skies again. Then I see the fucking Ferris wheel and I'm like, okay, here we go, Brody. Like, we're gonna land. And I was like, I believe. Okay, everybody, you just have to believe really hard that we're gonna land.
Yep.
And then he pulled it off. It was crazy, but it was like the roughest landing I've probably ever had. And then,
God.
you know what? When we landed, everybody clapped. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna allow you to be a weird about it.
Yeah.
Because normally I would find that incredibly embarrassing and cringe, but I want to clap as well. That was scary.
Y'all's lives.
I think he might have saved all of y'all, including me's life. He figured out a plan for us to get out of here, and he did it. And so then the lady, flight attendant, gets on the intercom. She's like, everyone, welcome to Washington, D.C. And I started to laugh, and I just went, ah! And then she hangs up the little thing, and then she runs over to Adam and me and goes, are you guys okay? That was so scary. And I was like, ah!
You're not supposed to feel like that.
I was like, ma'am, I'm relying on your steady hand. I need you to be chill about this. And so she was like freaked out too, but it was fine. We got off the plane, went home, and all was well. But I was like, oh boy, didn't care for that at all. Next year, you know where to find me, on my couch. That's where I will be.
So scary.
So, it was spooky.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm so sorry you had to go through that, and I'm so glad that you're okay. One time, when Aham and I went to Europe, in 2017, we were flying to Paris on Delta, and one of the engines died.
Oh!
We were like over the ocean, like near Greenland or something. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
and
by Earth.
Yeah, there was a huge bang, like an explosion noise.
Oh my God.
And it was so scary. And then, first of all, they got on the intercom and told us that one of the engines had gone out. Which is
I don't need you to communicate that to me at all, because now there's doo-doo on my seat.
Yeah. And they were like, so we might have to like land, divert the whatever. We're on the phone with Delta headquarters in Atlanta. We're making some contingency plans, but don't worry, there's a backup engine, scary. Whatever. It was so scary. And I was just like clutching Aham's arm. I'm not even particularly afraid of flying, but I was like, I am a mortal man doomed to die.
My lot is death.
Yeah. And I was just like squeezing the life out of Aham's arm, trying not to cry, being like, am I happy with my life if I die?
You're considering your legacy. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I guess it's okay. I don't know. But then we made it all the way to Paris. They were like, yeah, Delta HQ says it's fine. I was like, what
thanks.
do they know?
I'm glad you ran a cost benefit analysis on whether or not that was chill, and you decided it would be fine.
But I guess in retrospect, it made me be like, oh, planes are at least a little more resilient than I thought. It's not like a horse. A horse can't lose one of its engines.
I actually genuinely hate flying. I think about dying on a plane all of the time, and yet I force myself to do it anyways. And this was not like a particularly fatal situation, but I don't know. I was like having a lot of thoughts about Captain Sully Sullenberger, basically.
Sure.
We got really close to that river, man. I don't know. I didn't really care for that, but
yeah.
Please write in and let us know what you got for Xmas or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah or any of the other holidays, real or imagined. We'd love to know what you received.
Yeah, please.
And after 50 minutes of talking, we're going to take a break. I'm going to try to unlock my window and open it because I'm getting clammy. Ooh. And then we're going to check in about our resolutions. So stay tuned. Welcome back to Text Me Back.
Sneeze cast.
No. We're looking like, which one of the little women was the one that died?
Beth.
We look like her. It's given Beth.
What did she die of?
Everybody was always just dying of fucking diarrhea back then. Right. It's like you guys didn't know about drinking water? I guess not.
She died of frailty.
Yeah.
Or something.
Can I say, by the way, speaking of dying of frailty, I suffered through Wuthering Heights over the holidays. I read the book because I wanted to be ready for the discourse.
You're right.
Oh, man. Didn't care for it. I don't know. I when I read like a classic book like that, I always feel like I should have read this with a professional. Like somebody with a syllabus or something, because I'm not sure how I'm supposed to feel. But I kind of feel like both the Bronte sisters, or the two that I've read, Emily and Charlotte, of course, I think they were stuck up in houses just being repulsive themselves, surrounded by repulsive people. And so when they sat down to write a book, they're like, let's make everyone the most disgusting, vile creature you've ever heard of in your life. And then for some reason, the British reading public was like, this is the greatest love story ever told. Hello? He only had one eye and his arm fell off. But okay. If you say so. I don't really care for it. But looking forward to the film. Anyways, sorry, spoiler alert for the 200-year-old novel.
Yeah.
But Kathy basically dies of hysteria. And I was like, you deserved it, man. You were a big bitch. Kathy was a huge bitch, and Heathcliff is a psychopath. And then they say, the greatest love story ever told. Hello? You want to see those two kiss? Those two vulgar beasts?
Meanwhile,
for me,
have you seen Sterling K. Brown in the shower?
Because I would love to see somebody kiss him, and I would like to be that somebody. As Aaliyah once said, are you that somebody? And the answer is yes, I am. Anyways, we're going to talk about, oh my God, we're going to talk about New Year's resolutions.
Meagan, I was born with a weak constitution, Meagan. I have failure to thrive.
Lindy's about to pass away from the dropsy, so we got to wrap this up. But we're going to talk about our New Year's resolution. First, we're going to check in on last year's, see how we did with last year's, and then we're going to talk about this year's, and then we simply must get out of here because I cannot regulate my body temperature.
I didn't bring a tissue up here, Meagan, and the waterworks are going.
I'll start. So last year, my resolution was pickles, because I accidentally realized that I maybe like pickles. I was eating a Popeye's chicken sandwich. Normally, I just take the pickles off. This time I missed one. And so I got a bite of the chicken sandwich with the pickle. And I was like, this is a revelation. They were right to put the pickles on. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so the question was, there's this whole umbrella of foods that I don't eat because I was a very picky eater as a child. And one was loose corn. I like it on the cob, but I don't like it off. And the other one was peas. But, because they're just lying about who they are, and I don't care for them. So here's how it went. Pickles went pretty good. If I ordered something with pickles on it, I would leave the pickles on. And I didn't have any problem with that over the course of the year. And it kind of extended into cucumber too. Like normally if I get like the classic bagel sandwich with the lox and the capers and the onion and the cukes, I will often take off the cucumber because I just feel like, what's the point?
Sure.
But this year I left on a cuke or two, and that was pretty nice, I will say. So I would say pickles went well. Here's what I will say. If I was inventing my own meal, I was not actively seeking pickles. Like if I was going to a sandwich place, like build my own sandwich, I was not like, oh, make sure you put the pickles on there. But if I ordered something that had pickles on it, they would stay. So I felt pretty good about that. That felt pretty adventurous for me.
Yeah.
Now, loose corn, I think, was also a success. And you were there for a couple of my victories.
Sure was.
In particular, street corn in a bowl was a big hit for old MHM this year. I got really into that. Just eating little corn cups every chance I could get. It was a magical time. The one barrier I could not break was like finding corn and other stuff. Like, oh, there's a fucking corn in my burrito.
A surprise kernel. Yeah.
That I didn't really do great with that. But next time I go to Chipotle, I'm going to have them put the roasted corn in there. And I'm going to really like commit to that. Now, peas can get all the way fucked. I didn't have a single pea in 2025, and I don't think I'm going to have one in 2026 either because they're nasty. I couldn't even do it with peas, Yeah, it was rough. But damn. I know it's really rude and it's hard-headed, and this is a time in history where we should be more open-hearted and bold, and so I don't know. Maybe I'll order some samosas and not pick the peas out of them. I'll give it a try.
Can I push back a little bit?
Go ahead.
I don't think you have any obligation to like peas.
Thank you for saying it. Thank you. Everybody's like, oh, peas are my favorite. I love peas.
I love peas.
I do find that crazy.
I would, and I have at times eaten a large bowl of peas with just butter and salt. Oh yeah. I'll go through bags of frozen peas, heat them up, put some butter and salt on there, eat them. That's a great meal to me. That's a great snack, at least great side dish. So like I love peas, but I don't think everyone's obligated to like everything. Why should you like peas if you don't like peas?
Yeah, I just don't. Maybe that's allowed. I think I was feeling like morally deficient in some way because it's bad to be a picky eater. You should be more adventurous and open-minded. But what if peas are just gross to me? That's allowed.
Yeah.
I got somewhere with corn and I got somewhere with pickles. Maybe that's all there is for me in this life.
That's enough. And you know what, Meagan? You're enough.
I'm enough. Thank you.
So, no, I don't even think it makes you a picky eater to not like one thing.
Yeah, well, it's just because it's like a lot of food fits into that category of me having made a judgment about it when I was like 7 and never reassessing. So it's maybe feeling a little bit like, oh, I'm being a child. But maybe I was right the first time. Mm-hmm.
Well, you just got to as long as you do the reassessing with an open heart, and then maybe you'll make a pleasant discovery. But it seems like you did your pea reassessment.
I didn't really. I just was like, no, I didn't. I didn't eat a single pea. I was like, so gross.
Right. I thought you were exaggerating.
No, I literally ate no peas last year. But I did. I did have pickles and corn. Not together. That's disgusting.
I'm sorry. Do you know that you don't like peas, or you just think you don't like peas?
I know that the concept of peas makes my skin crawl. But I don't know if I like them or not. I think I should start with a samosa and work my way from there.
I want to reiterate, you're not obligated to do anything. Yeah. But it might be a good exercise just to see.
Yeah, just give it a shot. Yeah, it'll be okay. Should I say what my resolution for this year is, or do you want to switch off?
No, let's hear your new one and then I'll do mine.
Okay, so that was last year's. I would say I would give myself like a B-. I think I did pretty good, you know?
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I concur.
For this year, I'm doing what I always do. So I'm doing a dry January, which I would have done for the last 4 days anyways, because I could barely keep down ginger ale. So, but I try it every January just to kind of, sorry if this is an overshare, but just to check in, make sure I can still do it. Make sure I can just be off booze for at least 31 days. If you have like a favorite little beverage, that you like to have at the end of the day that's non-alcoholic, let me know. So that's one of them. And then I'm doing one. I haven't done this one in a while, but I'm going to give it a shot. And it's called No Shopping, which I know is kind of an annoying one and kind of antithetical to the point of Text Me Back podcast, which is a strong endorser of little items.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've just been kind of thinking like, do I buy too much stuff? And like, I don't really go anywhere. And I'm constantly on the websites looking at jeans. Like you have 50 pairs of jeans and you leave your house once at most a month. Okay. Yeah. So get a grip. And the input of items is greater than the output.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Again, this is not a judgment. This is just what I've been thinking through. So I've done this in the past where I don't shop. I obviously buy necessities, like buy groceries, buy stuff for the dogs. If I need a new pair of running shoes, I'll do that. Or if like all my leggings for working out disintegrate, I would get more of those, whatever. But no shopping. It was in the New York Times like 7 years ago. This woman wrote an op-ed about it. Sorry, I do not remember your name, ma'am, but you own a bookstore in New York. I know that because there's a really funny passage in the essay where she was like, I had to interview Tom Hanks at the 92nd Street Y. And normally I would have to buy a new dress for this. And then I realized Tom Hanks doesn't know what any of my dresses look like. I could wear whatever I wanted. He would never know. And I was like, that's true. Tom Hanks doesn't know what any of my dresses look like. So I am going to try that. I'm going to try to do no shopping. I haven't done it in like 5 years. But the last time I did it, I made it to like June. So I would like to try to make it to like August, at least before I fail. I personally still allow books. I feel like books doesn't count as shopping.
Yeah.
But with that said, a lot of people said this in our Discord too, like they really want to get back into going to the library. And I would like to try to do that as well.
Yeah.
The library is basically a perfect piece of societal beauty. And I never go there and I don't use it. And it's a perfect invention. So technically I have an exception for books and necessities, but I am going to try really hard to go to the library instead of buying books.
I love that
as well. So yeah, that's
mine.
That. What's yours?
I don't want to make it a resolution because I don't want to disappoint myself, but I think like an intention, I'm going to prioritize thrifting, which is a thing that I love. And I used to do all the time and I have really lost touch with it. So I want to get back into that.
Mm-hmm.
But so last year, my resolution was to be an EBBBW, an even better businesswoman. And I think that
perhaps we should ask the listeners what their judgment is.
I think I did okay.
Yeah.
Meagan only got mad at me a couple of times for not answering the emails. And that's my main gauge. We did our pledge drive. Very successful. And I was like, now that I'm done with my book, I can't believe I was thinking that a year. I worked on my book
I know, and there's still so much more. Yeah.
Dude,
there's still so much more to do.
Right. So a year ago, I was like, now that my book's done, I can be more regular with butt news. Did not happen. Managed to get a butt news out like every month or so, but like that's not enough. I want to be writing more butt news. So I give myself a D on that. But my other sub goal under being a better businesswoman was specifically I wanted to get my passport back, and I did.
She did it. She's no longer wanted for international tax crime.
It was cute to look
That's exciting.
at what I said last year, being like, well, I don't know, I have a lawyer, so maybe we're working on it. And indeed, we freaking nailed it.
Did it, dude.
Bobby Boucher, my tax lawyer. He came through hard, and now I can travel. So
That's so exciting.
It is satisfying to set an achievable resolution and then do it.
And then you did it. Yeah.
I recommend it. Here's my intention for 2026 to sum it up, especially because it's going to be a year with a lot of travel, a lot of stress, a lot of chaos. I need to remember to not just be like a floating cloud of particles vaguely swirling around my phone screen. You know what I mean? I need to like do things that I know are good for my integration. Writing in my journal. I used to do it every morning. Stop doing it. Why did I stop doing it? I like it.
Yeah.
Get up and go for a walk. Read a physical book. Finish the 800 crafts that I've started and not finished. Finish knitting my sock.
My sock. Wow.
I've been halfway
finish that sock too, baby.
I've been halfway through one sock for about 2 years.
Looking forward to hearing more about this sock in January 2027.
Yeah, January 2027, we'll check in on the sock.
Maybe the passport will be in the sock.
It's my passport holder. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Then I don't have to do the other sock.
Exactly.
My New Year's resolution for 2026, I'm going to finish my sock, and we'll check in on that in a year.
We're going to check in on the sock in January 2027.
Yeah. And if I also, 2027, Jesus.
That's what they're saying.
If I also manage to journal, read physical books, and eat fiber for my cholesterol, great. But if not, we're not holding me to it.
At least you'll have one sock.
At least I'll have one finished sock.
Okay, let us know what you're doing. A lot of people at Discord saying they're going to get into roller skating, which frightens me, frankly. I hope you guys have knee pads and stuff. But if you have a cool New Year's intention, let us know what it is. 703-829-0003. Yes.
I know we have to go, but I had one more thing I want to ask your advice on.
Yes.
This is not diet culture. I genuinely really miss running. I got into running during COVID and I liked it a lot, and I did it pretty consistently for a few years. Then once you stop running, then you're no longer good at running, and then running sucks.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to get back into running because I do miss it. Like I was watching Sterling K. Brown running.
Sure.
And I was like,
let me stop you right there. That's a separate. He's on something else. You know what I mean?
That's true. But I was like, look at him bopping along. Like running is
He's making it look easy.
It's the same as walking to him. So I was just thinking about it. But my problem is that now I live in the woods. And so there isn't like a place to run because first of all, even in my running heyday, I was not running up and down hills.
No, hell no.
Okay. No. In Seattle, there's always a little bit of a hill, but like I mostly was able to avoid it. Here, everything's a hill and everything is just like a dirt road through a forest, which sounds like a beautiful place to run, but it's not.
But it's more of like a dirt hole.
It's muddy.
For your ankles to break in.
Exactly. And it's too hilly. So then I'm like, well, I could just drive a little ways. There is a long straight stretch of road near me that's flat. I could park down there, run on that. Do you think I'm going to get pounced on by a cougar and also a bear and dead?
I think either one or the other, but probably not both at the same time. And if I had to guess which I think is more likely, I would say the cougar, because now you're acting like a cat toy.
Yeah, that's my worry.
You know? You're acting like a cat dancer by running all around like that.
I am really fast, and sometimes I just float up into the air. It's true. I bob and I weave, but tantalizingly. But I guess it's like, is it worth the risk of possibly getting pounced on to get back into a hobby that I enjoyed?
Well, look, you're the female woodsman. I feel like don't they only pounce if they're like really hungry, and they mostly only eat garbage, I thought. Bears? I don't know what cougars get up to be honest. I've actually never seen one.
I think they mostly want to eat deer. And I don't look like a deer.
You're none of their business.
we have there. You're not allowed to hunt. There's no hunting where we live. Like the whole.
Oh, so you can't
area.
like go jogging with a rifle.
No. I mean, so there's plenty for the cougar to eat because the humans aren't killing the deer.
Gotcha.
So that's actually, I guess, why we have cougars is because they are like, oh my God, there's so many deer over there. So
this rocks.
Yeah, they're not looking for like a
is treadmill totally out of the question? I mean, running on a treadmill really sucks, so I understand, but
well, I like it a little bit because you can watch TV while you do it. But
sure, absolutely.
We have a treadmill, but it's like Roya sized. Like Aham found it on the street, and it's so tiny and cute, and I think I would break it. And so then I was like, can we get another treadmill? And then I was like, that's crazy when there's just outside right here. So I think if you have a thought on whether or not I'll get eaten by a cougar if I go for a run, can you write
I feel like you won't.
I think that's right.
But I don't know what they get up to. You know, I don't know.
It's hard to know what they get up to. Yeah. Yeah. Or I guess I could drive to Port Townsend and like go to a gym. But that's really far.
Let's be real.
I'll never do it.
Nerver.
So
nerve. Let us know what you're cooking up in 2026. What are yours? If you're a cougar,
what are yours?
Hit the road, dude. State is private property. Ain't no state. Anyway, speaking of hit the road, dude, we're gonna take a break. We gotta get the fuck up out of here because this is, speaking of disintegrating, this is not going well. So here we go. Well, we actually did almost talk for an hour and a half, so good for us. I'm so sweaty and clammy. Lindy's dying. I don't even know if you're going to hear this on Thursday. I don't know.
Well, Megan, I'll tell you what I don't have the energy to do. The edit notes.
Edit this shit.
But
edit
maybe I can
whatever this was.
And boy, does it need editing. So we'll see.
We hope you enjoyed our triumphant return to the boards. I certainly did. I might make another box of Kraft mac and cheese after this.
You should.
I don't know. It's so good.
I have boxed mac and cheese in the cupboard. Maybe I'll make one.
It's so good. We're happy to be back. Thank you for supporting our show in 2025. And if you're considering supporting our show in 2026, why not make that your resolution?
That's right.
Patreon.com/textmeback pod.
Oh, what are yours?
What are yours? Hit the road, dude. Yeah, just let us know what else is going on. I don't know, man. I am ever so sleepy. My sleep pattern has been psychotic because of this illness where like I sleep from like 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. and then stay awake until 4 a.m.
Oh, I hate
and then fall
that.
asleep. I know. And then I fall asleep clammy. It's just it's been a situation. Anyway, if you're a dysentery, give me a call. Did you infect? Like, what was that? It was, I've never heard of her. Like, it was really something to behold.
What was that?
What was that? Hit the road, dude. Anyway, we hope you're having a nice 2026. If you are from Venezuela, I'm sorry about that act of war we did.
Dude, it's so crazy. I like can't even really, I don't even know how to like process it at all.
I guess we're gonna have to lay down and die. That's what I'm planning on doing. Anyway,
are you allowed to just go kidnap the president?
No.
Of a different country?
No.
Aren't there rules?
But it's just like, look, America's so good at it, and it's been so long since we've done it. And I think
that's true.
You know, every now and again, you got to flex your skills. You got to show the people what's up. So,
like me with my running practice.
Absolutely.
You know?
Pete Hegseth was like, "Ooh, if I do this, are they gonna think I'm a deer?" Anyway, thanks for listening. Have a great 2026 and beyond.
And we missed you. And
absolutely.
And Happy New Year, and thanks for hanging out through our little vacay.
And through whatever this was. That was really cool of you.
This was really bad and weird.
Yeah. And that's the Text Me Back guarantee. Mwah. J to the moi. Bye.